Nelson picking up the disc. Immediately finds DeBile. Moves it up to Glenn. Fakes a big huck to Weber, but resets it smartly. Haven't called Brock's name out yet today. About 12 days ago, he guaranteed a win on his Twitter feed. So far, the AlleyCats are looking good, true to form. After several handler resets, Nelson decides to call a timeout, get the offensive unit on the field. I've been told we've been having some AV difficulties, so I think we've gotten video but no audio so far. We are in Madison. The AlleyCats have come to town to play the Madison Radicals. Currently the score is 2-4. The Radicals are in a hole. We're coming out of a timeout. The Radicals would get a break here to narrow the lead to 3-4 if they score. It would be a break, and right now we have the Radicals offensive unit in because of the timeout. Brown doing work downfield to get the undercut. It's a rather cold and windy July day. About 65 degrees and a crosswind. Both teams have been coming out in a horizontal stack. The Radicals have some sort of junk set on the handlers, and an errant throw to Carpenter results in a turnover. The Radicals have the disc now, about 20 yards outside the end zone. You could see that disc that Annan threw, the wind is really affecting these throws. And Riggles throws into the ground, resulting in a turnover. Big huck goes up, Carpenter's there, no defenders. Coolidge chasing. The AlleyCats player, however, cannot connect with that disc. Hits it up into the air in the end zone, and a turnover occurs. We've got about 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Radicals will get another chance for the break. With the windy weather, moving to this vertical stack may be a good idea, potentially isolating players in very large spaces. Volkman with a layout backhand throw attempt, draws contact, and gets a free 10 yards. Big huck goes up, Riggles is under it, and he will pancake that in the end zone. That's a good conversion on a windy point. The Radicals have closed the score to 3-4.
Let's go, Radicals, go!
Centered to Ravel and over to Cox. The Radicals are in their zone. The previous an errant throw results in a turnover. The previous time the zone came out, the AlleyCats had no trouble. Nelson gets it off the line, and the Radicals will look to convert. It's a backhand force, man defense. And so far, the Radicals have just been going back. Glenn catches the disc. To Nelson, to Wilson on the far sideline, the upwind sideline. Nelson is just controlling the game right now. The sideline's yelling. There's 20 seconds remaining. Finds a skinny break throw to DeBile. The Radicals have about 10 seconds. And Weber's in the end zone. He's got the score. It's a spike to Reef with a little kick. And the Radicals have tied the game up. It's 4-4. Wiseman with the big pull. With 7 seconds remaining, they leave all their tall players in. Meshnik with the block. Petit Scantling with a desperation throw to the end zone. The Radicals want an obstruction call. But the referees are deciding that there's no call to be made. And we will go into the second quarter with a score of 4-4. So here we go. We're in the second quarter. The game is all tied up. This game is for a trip to Chicago to play in the conference finals and the championship game. As you can see, score is 4-4. We're used to seeing games end in the 20s. This is definitely a low-scoring game, a defensive battle. The AlleyCats turn it over. The Radicals are looking to score. Glenn has the disc. Finds Wilson. Wilson wants a foul call. He'll get it and walk up the disc 10 yards. Scullion with some juke moves in the backfield. Reef looking for somebody. Finds Scullion. Scullion hops in. And that's a break. The Radicals are up 5-4 for their first lead of the game. There's a call, looks like offsides perhaps. Correction, that's a delay of game. And the Radicals will be even further in their own end zone. So Glenn will be replaced by Wiseman, who I would suppose has even huger hucks to get this pull and this point started.
Let's go, Tickles! Keep down there.
The Radicals come out in their zone look. They're 1 for 2 converting breaks on these such points. The AlleyCats, however, have moved it up. They're only 10 yards outside the end zone. Oh, but a botched catch results in a turnover, and the Radicals will get a chance. Nelson finds Rohowitz, gives it immediately to Wilson, and upfield to Wiseman. Rohowitz is unmarked, but they can't find him. Nelson has been crucial so far, cutting through this wind with his throws. Reef is looking for somebody, anything. Finds an inside break at the high stall count to Wiseman. Wiseman with an inside break to one of 3 Radical players. Rohowitz comes down with it and resets it to Nelson. Nelson with a skinny break throw. Reef is towing the line, and he is called in by the referees. The AlleyCats don't like that call, but it goes up on the board. The Radicals get another break, and now their lead is 6-4. The Radicals' lead is 6-4. They've been on a tear since about 6 minutes into the first quarter. A big huck goes up. Carpenter's there. Swain with a big bid. Looks like he might have gotten a piece of the disc, but the referees are saying that he got a piece of the offensive player. That's a foul, and Carpenter's going to get to walk that disc to the middle of the field right outside the end zone.
The call is contact on the catch. AlleyCats disc.
That was a great bid by Swain. And now the Radicals are coming out in a zone. Looks like they were called for perhaps a triple team. But there's no real penalty since he's already in the best spot on the field for scoring. Glenn comes up with a floating disc and now throws it up into the air. Pete Scantling under the disc. Tries to clap catch it, but misses the disc, and the Radicals almost get another turn with Meshnick getting a hand on the disc. There's another bid from Meshnick. And a hammer over the top, and Glenn, the deep, eats it up, and the Radicals are off to the races except that coach/player DeBile calls a timeout, trying to calm the team and push this in for a score. 8 minutes remain in the second quarter. The Radicals offensive unit back on the field. The defensive unit has had more success this game, but I expect the offensive unit will calm things down, find good throws. Volkman finds Annan in the end zone. It's a clean score. The Radicals extend their lead. Now it's 7-4. So the Radicals pull the disc. It's a little bit short. They are leading 7-4. They're coming out in another zone. It's typically a 2-4-1. Aaron throw. Nelson gets a hand on the disc, but the disc is tipped up so the offensive player can catch it. It looks more like a 3-3-1 this zone. Perhaps with the wind, they want to keep more players near the disc. The AlleyCats convert this one. They're 2 for 4 on zone points. They close the lead 7-5.
Amazing raffle prizes. That's all you need to know. We'll be doing the drawing after the third quarter. Pick it up right now. Buy as many as you'd like. No limit.
Radicals are out in their horizontal stack. That's Yoder Graham, Goshen, my mistake, with a no-look block. And Dosenbach with a flubbed catch. Results in another turnover. Weisen's got the arm for this throw. Coolidge had 20 yards on his man, but he can't come down with the disc. A big huck goes up the other way. Carpenter with a very late bid. The Radicals offensive unit will get another chance. Thibodeau up to Wiseman. It's good defense from Payne. Riggles throws a inside-out backhand which floats up into the air, and Carpenter snatches it. And a timeout from the AlleyCats sideline is called. There were just under 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Please, players, official Madison Radicals disc. Get over there today. It's your last chance.
So we'll come in out of the timeout. The Radicals in man defense with a double team on the initial handler. Handler drawing contact, got 10 yards initially, drew contact again, but it wasn't called. The deep Meshnik did not realize there was a player coming deep. So the Radicals lead 7-6 with 5 minutes remaining. There's a correction on that last point. That was Ames with the score, with the goal. And the Radicals are coming out in a vertical stack. This game so far has been a game of defenses. The defensive units have been a lot stronger than the offensive ones. You have to wonder if that might be because it's a cool, windy day, and the offensive unit, which is always known for its possession offense, is not working as well as the high-risk, high-reward mentality of defensive units. A whistle goes off before that throw, and it looks like the disc will stay with Volkman. Volkman finds Riggles. Looks to go offline, finds an around throw. Ford couldn't contain that throw. Brown with a round break, Anna with the disc. The AlleyCats have been playing man defense the whole game, with a couple of different looks on the handlers. But for the most part, a big hammer goes off. Riggles collects the disc. He's on the doorstep. Finds an inside break to Thibodeau, who's in for the goal. The Radicals increase their lead. It's 8-6. Glenn with the big pull. The Radicals' lead is 8-6. You can see that the wind has died down considerably. Perhaps that means we'll see the offensive units converting more frequently. However, DeBile punches the disc away for a D and snatches the disc on an upline cut. Finds a throw to Reef. It's about 7 yards outside the end zone. He throws to the end zone, and DeBile macks it to himself, tries to collect the mac, but the result is a turnover, and the AlleyCats will get the disc.
Keep an eye on him, Tyler.
Radicals are coming out in their zone again.
The thrower has the win, Tyler.
Trap him, yeah.
Ames drawing contact. He's going to get 10 yards and walking it up.
Yeah, Tyler. Hey, don't get confident, Triple A.
Ames certainly seems to prefer his backhand. He gets it up to Plew with a backhand dish. An inside out, an outside in break throw to Brock. Gets the AlleyCats moving. Ravel to Cox. Over to Valentine Elam. And now the zone is very loose. Plew with a nice popping cut, moves it to Cox. He could swing it across field, but he chooses the upfield throw, and that's going to be Brock's first goal of the game on a dish pass, and the Radicals' lead is cut to 8-7.
Facebook.com/Madison Radicals. Once again, Facebook.com/Madison Radicals. Like them today to follow everything going on.
The Radicals are up by 1, 8-7. They're coming out in a side stack, isolating Riggles. And in the second, cutter behind Riggles, gets the disc and throws a scoober. The scoopers are out now. That's probably suggesting the wind has died down a bit. Karen with space. Brown gets the disc, blading it with the wind into the end zone for Karen with the score. The Radicals lead is now 9-7. Scullion with the pull. The Radicals lead is 9-7. They're out in man defense. There's a minute and a half remaining before the end of the quarter. End of the half. Valentine Elam with the disc finds an offline. Cox with no looks, but Valentine Elam bails him out. And they're working off the line and finally get it across the field. Payne with a big hammer. It's an easy throw and catch. And the AlleyCats are in for the score. The lead is for the Radicals is 9-8. Radicals are up 9-8. They've got a minute left in the half. At the end of the last point, the offensive handler for the AlleyCats Ravel was being helped off the field. Annan throws to the end zone. Thibodeau's under it. Has a hand on the disc. And a foul will be called. So Thibodeau will get the disc at the middle, at midfield, right on the doorstep on the end zone line.
30 seconds remaining in the half.
Finds Karen. There's some sort of call. He had apparently not centered the disc properly, but there's no penalty for that. Brown with the disc. Finds Karen. Karen into the end zone to Coolidge for the score. The Radicals lead is 10-8 and 9 seconds remain in the half. Wiseman with the pull. He throws a roller pull. Not sure how I feel about that. The AlleyCats will get a chance to put many offensive players into the Radicals' end zone before the clock starts running. Immediately, a huck goes up. It's going to be short. Wiseman misses the disc, but fortunately, it floats harmlessly out of bounds. So that'll do it for the first half. The Radicals' lead is 10-8. It's a cold, breezy day in Madison. Definitely below the average temperature in July. We've got a crosswind coming from the people in the stands towards us in the booth. And Riggles now has the disc. Thibodeau comes down with the grab. And Brown gets the reset. We saw a very contested first half. The AlleyCats came out on fire, built a quick 3-0 lead, but the Radicals settled down. Karen with a high stall count. Throws into Yoder. And the AlleyCats are going to get a chance. Huck goes up to the end zone. Dosenbach hops the line, gets in for the first break and the first point of the half. The Radicals' lead is cut 10-9. So AlleyCats off to another strong start out of the half. They've got the first break, and the Radicals were looking pretty stagnant on that first offensive point. Brown with the give and go. Brown's typically known as a solid possession handler. The handlers are not typically the ones who are initiating the offense. But Karen draws contact, gets 10 yards. And we'll see what the Radicals do. The Radicals get it up to Wiseman. Wiseman floats a hammer. Volkman's under the disc. But an athletic play by the defender results in a block. And he immediately hucks it to the other end. Craven under the disc, but Coolidge with the D. They've got some words for one another, but there's no call by the referees, so the Radicals will get the disc again. And Brown moves it to Karen, to Thibodeau, to Brown. Over to Wiseman. Wiseman sees Coolidge. He's got steps on Craven. And he's called not in. He's on the doorstep. Double team is set. Wriggles to Thibodeau. And Thibodeau will get the score. The Radicals' lead is increased 11-9. So Tyler Glenn with the blading pull. The Radicals are in their zone. It's a 2-4-1 or a 2-3-2. Maybe even a 2-3-1-1. A lot of fakes, not a lot of throws. The AlleyCats move it, and Plews got the disc. The Radicals come into the postseason at 13-3, while the AlleyCats were at 9-7. The 3 games between these two teams all resulted in Radicals' victories. However, the margin of victory was never more than 4 points. Disc goes to the end zone, but Plew wants that back. He was not happy with that throw. He's knocking him upside the head. That disc didn't have any float on it and bladed. So Nelson will pick up the disc, start at his end zone line. The Radicals will start from there. Immediately over to DeBile. DeBile moves it to Reef. Reef looks off and seemingly open undercut from Glenn, but will float a disc up to Nelson. Nelson's been a great help for the Radicals this game, but he didn't find anything, so he'll smartly call a timeout. So we're out of the timeout. The offensive unit is back on the field. Swain is being blanketed currently. Finally, Swain finds an opening on O'Brien. And Annan throws. Swain with the grab in the end zone. That's good for a goal. The Radicals' lead is now 12-9. So AlleyCats will come out, and Glenn with a layup block will give the Radicals a chance to extend their lead, And they do. That's a quick break point. Wriggles in the end zone for the score, and the Radicals extend the lead. It's 13-9. A near block from Scullion. We'll get this point started. It's currently 13-9. Cox drew some contact there. He'll get 10 yards. Plu finds Payne and back to Plu. It's Vanderbush to Cox. And a lot of give and goes with cutters coming into the backfield will result in an easy offensive point. AlleyCats on the board, 13-10. We're just past halfway in the third quarter. We've got an isolation play to Coolidge. Coolidge throwing a huck up to Thibodeau. He's got steps. It's floating. Oh, and on the third attempt, Thibodeau finally makes contact with the disc but can't reel it in. There's an interesting defensive unit. Looks like they're happy to get a lot of unders. And finally, they get some yards upfield. Broderick, a floating disc, and Wiseman will eat that one up. It's a missed throw by O'Brien.
David Wiseman with the Radicals D.
And the offensive unit will get another chance. Brown with the disc, Coolidge doing work, but a double cut results in a look-off. Karen with the disc, moves it up to Wiseman. Wiseman looking immediately downfield, but instead floats a throw. Carpenter gets under the disc immediately, gets the block. A hammer across field is perfectly thrown. Broderick with fantastic throw. But the offensive player is stranded. Disc base
Contact is the call. AlleyCats take over.
is the call. And the AlleyCats will get it just outside the end zone in the middle of the field. Forward with an aggressive cross-field throw. A layout from the receiver, Dosenbach, but can't come down with it. Another turnover. Coolidge bobbles the throw, and timeout is called by the AlleyCats. Not liking this turnover happy play. The AlleyCats will bring the disc in, immediately double teamed by two 6'5" Madison Radicals players. And finally, after 3 throws, they are able to get it off the sideline, out of the trap. Payne not finding anything. Elects for a high release backhand. And an errant throw hits Plu in the hand, but was well behind him. Wilson with the disc. Finds DeBile with a tricky upline maneuver up to Wriggles. Nelson in the way of Glenn. However, Glenn reads the disc well and brings it in. And Nelson is hand blocked. And challenged immediately. Plu going to the end zone. He will run that in. That's a score for the AlleyCats. They cut the lead to 13-11. Carpenter with a big pull. Volkman collects and centering it to Brown. The Radicals have transitioned to a vertical offense, a vertical stack, because it's been so much more successful against the AlleyCats this game. Coolidge, typically a defensive powerhouse, has moved to the offensive line. But he's finding openings with his legs. It's the second undercut he's found. Throws it up to Swain. Swain's unmarked for several seconds because of Carpenter's bid. The Radicals are moving it very smoothly this point. You can see that the wind is not affecting them. Maybe it's calmed down a bit. Swain finds the end zone. He's coming down with the goal, and the Radicals' lead is now 14-11. 1 minute remains in this third quarter. The AlleyCats will have the disc down by 3. See if they can use up most of this minute to prevent the Radicals from getting a shot at the end zone. The AlleyCats are doing a good job of finding 100% throws, eating up this clock. A big huck goes up, but it's floating. Not a good look. And timeout is called by the Radicals. They've got 24 seconds to figure out a way to get into the end zone. It's an isolation play. Meshnick's going to get the disc. Up to Wiseman. Wiseman wants a contact call but doesn't get it. We've got 7 seconds remaining. Brown's going to launch one to the end zone. It's a blade. It's going to give everybody a shot. And that's a good D. So Tyler Glenn will pull the disc to begin the fourth quarter. The Radicals' lead is 3. And they're 12 minutes away from a trip to Chicago for conference finals and a chance at the championship. Brock guaranteed a win on his Twitter. They're going to need to make a comeback to give the Rush, or whoever makes it from the other conference, a run at the championship. The AlleyCats, a lot of throws, not many yards, and finally they get past midfield. Plu and Brock, 2 stars of this AlleyCats team, working to find a solution. Brock finds Cox in the corner of the end zone. And the AlleyCats are within 2. The score is 14-12. The Radicals isolate Annan. The first in cut. Throwing to Wiseman. Wiseman has steps. Can he get to the disc? Oh, he has a paw on the disc, but he can't come down with it. So the AlleyCats will get a chance at a break. Big huck fake and a reset. Carpenter with the disc. Immediately double teamed and finds a scuber. And a big low huck goes off. Carpenter's running it down. Makes a late bid. And that's going to be a turnover. We see the Radicals are out in their horizontal stack again. Maybe they've talked about it and found a new method for success. Volkman finds Thibodeau for a break throw and moves it up to Coolidge. Weiss initiates from the far end, but Coolidge looks him off. Karen roasts his defender up line. Moves it to Brown. Brown, the anchor of this offense, has been mostly nullified this game with a handful of turnovers. However, the rest of the Radicals on the offensive line have been filling in, letting Brown do what he does in as safe a way as possible. Volkman to the end zone. Coolidge is in. So the Radicals will extend their lead back to 3, and it's now 15-12. Just under 9 minutes remain now. The Radicals leading 15-12. Wriggles with a big bid. Plu looks off a huck to Brock. Guarded well by Meshnick. And Tyler Glenn with a big layout block. He's going to look for bookends, but Scullion underthrows him. And the AlleyCats will get the disc again. A lot of contact from between Reef and Plu. Plu goes down hard. Looks like he'll be okay. He'll just take the extra 10 yards, stay in the game. Plu's being guarded by Wriggles, who must be a full foot taller than him. Plu doing work, gets the undercut, finds Payne. Back to Cox. And Plu is running Wriggles all around the field with his quick acceleration moves. Ames will find Vanderbush in for the score, and the Radicals' lead is now 15-13. AlleyCats with the pull. Radicals are out in the vertical stack. And that's an isolation play that does not work out. It was Wiseman on the break side that they were looking for. However, the Radicals are able to dink it and doink it for small yardage and get themselves reset. Coolidge looking for something, anything, holds on to the disc, and it'll be a stall. A delay of game is also called, so there'll be 10 yards imposed after the stall. Delay of game occurred because he threw the disc away after the stall. And with 7 minutes, the AlleyCats will look to close the gap, bring it down to 1. Looked like a greatest attempt by Craven. Finds Coolidge immediately. Around to Karen, to Brown. And Coolidge is finding every under that he wants. Swain looked off. Carpenter with good, strong defense in position at every step of the way. Big Huck goes up. Wiseman's got steps. And he comes down with the goal. Dosenbach cramping, but the Radicals will increase their lead back to 3, 16-13.
5-8-0-2-3.
Radicals are up 16-13. There is less than 6 minutes remaining in the game. The zone defense out to try and slow the AlleyCats down. You can see that the disc is chopping up and down. So although it's not that windy right now, oh, Wilson with a near block. Although it's not that windy right now, the wind is choppy, making discs difficult potentially to catch. Blade to the end zone, and Glenn gets up in the air, comes down with the D. Nelson finds Reef. Reef to Wilson. To DeBile. DeBile blades it. Rohowitz slides to get the grab. Wilson with a nice break throw to Reef, and the Radicals are possessing excellently. They have had several open, deep looks, have smartly looked them off, maintained possession, eating clock, and nudging them closer and closer to a trip to Chicago.
All of these start with 958. 142, 370, and 322. That's 142.
Nelson with a low throw.
322 for the
Schlitzky can't come up with it. And the AlleyCats will get a chance to narrow the gap to 2. Huck goes up to Plu. Nelson misreads. Gets a touch. No call. And Nelson will get the block. He'll go on the stat sheet for that. He's going to walk it up very slowly to the end zone line. We've got 3 minutes remaining in the game. And he throws into the defense. That's a Callahan. Vanderbush will go on the stat sheet with the Callahan, and the Radicals' lead is cut to 2.
316.
Three minutes remain in the game. The Radicals' lead is 2.
For the EVP $15 gift certificate, 958.
And the AlleyCats are looking to make a statement.
That's 958.
Closing the lead to 2 with a Callahan score. That occurs when the defense catches the disc in the end zone. It's not clear what's going on. Looks like a foul. The clock has stopped due to the injury substitution. And Wiseman grabs the disc just off the ground. The Radicals are possessing well. Meshnik finds an undercut that's open. Annan finds the under to Wiseman. Wiseman smartly looks off a throw, preferring to possess the disc instead. Karen finds an around throw to Coolidge. Coolidge looking to reset. The Radicals have really worked well to take time off of the clock on these offensive possessions. Hammer to the end zone. Volkman's in the area. He comes down with the grab. Spikes it from the ground. And the Radicals lead is 17-14. The AlleyCats have just under 2 minutes to score 3 goals. They'll be looking to take high risk throws, and the Radicals, I would think, would be playing contain. Neither team appears to be adopting the strategies that I'm recommending. The AlleyCats happy to make lots of short throws, and Wilson with a bid attempt earlier at this point. A blade to the end zone. And Tyler Glenn will eat it up. He's been a consistent, deep defender in this zone. He elects to huck it, and that's going to be an easy D for the AlleyCats. And they've worked it up quickly. Plew to the middle of the field. 40 seconds remain. High risk, high rewards here. There it is. And a score to Brock gets the AlleyCats within 2 with 30 seconds remaining in the game. So Radicals' lead is 17-15, 30 seconds remain. At this point, it's a game of possession. The Radicals elect to huck it, and Swain is in the end zone. Wiseman to Swain for what is likely to be the final goal. The Radicals' lead is 18-15, and that should wrap it up, sending the Radicals on their way to face the Windy City Wildfire. Dave Wiseman with the pull. Does an air bounce. The Radicals' lead is 18-15, and this will likely be the last point of the game.
10 seconds remaining.
With a win here, the Radicals will move on to play the Windy City Wildfire in Chicago for the conference championships. And the next game will be the championship in Chicago also that weekend of August 3rd and 4th. So that's it. The Radicals take the game. The final is 18-15. The Radicals on top.
Madison Radicals, thank you for supporting Professional Ultimate in the inaugural season for the Madison Radicals. Follow their progress on radicalsultimate.com and facebook.com/Madison Radicals. They'll be in Chicago next week for the AUDL Final Four, facing the Windy City Wildfire for a chance to play for the AUDL.